see if it's working. Okay, it says I am live. There's usually a delay. What's going on with the chat? That is acting weird. I don't understand what's going on there. That's weird. Okay. Okay. Sweet! We are here. We are here. We're going to do this live. We're doing it live! We're doing it live! Alright. Sweet. That's exactly what I wanted to see. I don't know what's going on with this, but that's okay because I'll set this up to where I can see if something pops up in the chat. Maybe. Thought I could. There we go. There we go. I'll be able to see from there because for some reason this thing is being weird. Alright. Alright guys, hey, welcome back to the Embrace Nerd Show. This is just a quick show, or well, say quick. It is a show where we talk about all the things that we love dealing with the nerd culture today. We cover movies, shows, comics, and video games, and then sometimes if there's a cultural thing we need to talk about, we'll slip that in there too. Welcome back, and today we're going to get into some really interesting stuff. Really, we're going to be talking about Captain America, we're going to be talking about The Witcher, and much, much more state of play possibilities and what our predictions are for that. So without further ado, let's get started. So, yesterday, I had the chance to watch Witcher Sirens of the Deep. And before I really get into anything else today, because we got a lot of interesting news, I just want to say that it's definitely something worth checking out. Now, I know everyone has Valentine's Day to attend to. It's one of the reasons I won't be getting to see the Captain America movie till a little later, which is fine. We're going to be going to try to see it maybe Monday after I deal with my work on the weekends and stuff like that. But I will definitely recommend checking out Witcher's Sirens of the Deep, especially if you're an animation fan, and especially if you are a Witcher fan who feels scorned from what they gave us with the Witcher series and really what they did to Henry Cavill. This movie, not only is it the same quality as that Nightmare of the Wolf animated movie that you've seen, it just makes you realize how much we were robbed from what The Witcher should have been. And yes, The Witcher is not just about The Witcher. The Witcher is about Yennefer. The Witcher is about Cersei. The Witcher is about our favorite bard. But the main person it should be about is The Witcher. And every other character that the show decided to push over pushing, Geralt. It just shows you what we missed, and this movie gives that to you. It has a ton of awesome action, and the story's really good. It kind of reminds me of a Little Mermaid-esque story, and that's probably about as far as I can go spoiling that. I don't want to get too much into the spoilers. I may do a more spoiler review later, but just know it's definitely something that I would recommend, and I really encourage you guys to watch it. Now, that being said, we got to talk about Captain America Brave New World reactions, because yesterday they had the premiere and they allowed a bunch of other critics to go all over the world to see this movie to give their commentary. And if you've watched this show or if you've watched this channel for the short period of time I've been doing this, you know that I have been concerned about this movie. This was a movie I really want to do good, but there's a he said, she said. They say it only cost $180 million and the reshoots weren't that big of a deal. Then we've heard the opposite, that there was a ton of reshoots and it's cost the movie to really balloon to a really high budget. And we don't really know what's true. Honestly, time will have to tell those things, because even though it seems to be the $180 million you should believe, honestly, I don't believe anything right now. And so you kind of wonder, how was the film? Like, how did people receive the film? Well, it's a little bit of a mixed reaction in unique ways, but it sounds like the main reaction was fine. So we're going to look through just some of these reactions that people had. I collected some of these and I just want to talk about some of it with you. And ironically, what's funny is, the people that would usually be considered to be like the shills, or the people that you would consider to be the ones that are always hyped about these movies, they're the ones that are a little bit more down. And the people that you would think that were like, usually would crap all over these movies, are kind of the ones that are kind of being a little bit more optimistic about the film. Which, funny enough, the first one we'll read is from Shad Brooks. So I've just seen a pre-screening of Captain America Brave New World, and it wasn't bad. Definitely not great, but far better than I was expecting. Granted, I was expecting an unmitigated disaster. So yes, not a high bar to pass. I call it barely above average. Then we have, let's see, we got another one. Okay, John Flickinger from FlickPick. Captain America Brave New World is clunky, anticlimactic, and about as exciting as a rerun. The screenplay gives the characters little to do. The action feels like it's just checking a box. And Red Hulk, don't bother getting hyped. As the 35th film in the MCU, it plays things way too safe. Way too safe. Okay, this is a more positive reaction from Leo Rydell. So, Captain America Brave New World, pretty good. They are fun action sequences, political undertones that work. The chemistry between Sam Jaquin and Isaiah shines, but there is a lot veering off that hurts the pacing and editing, and the action choreography was not great. Okay? Marvel is back. Cap is back. Julius Unknown's Brave New World is more ground level MCU film that's heavy on action and full of political intrigue. It excels in its Red Hulk and many hand-to-hand or hand-to-shield fight sequences. Love the bromance between Cap and Falcon too. Let's see. Alright, immediately there's like half of a really good movie here, but the other half is way too undercooked. And then it just kind of ends as if you forgot to shoot the rest of the film. And this is where I think the median is for most of these people. From Brandon Davis, Captain America Brave New World is flat out good. It feels like an MCU return to form, progressing the overall story with a thrilling tale of its own. It's pretty non-stop. The villain feels a bit secondary. Solid reactions. Harrison Ford is all in. Mackie really claims the mantle. And there's a lot more I could read. I think I'm going to read two more to just kind of give you an idea. Maybe, two more. Both meet and exceeded my low expectations. You can feel the reshoots throughout the film. The main villain was a big miss, but this is the most cohesive the MCU has felt since 2019. Sam has good chemistry with his partners and can deliver the feels. And then he also added, someone had asked a question. Let's see what they asked. Well, no. Okay. He says, both feel like the product of a flawed era, the MCU where the microwave scripts try to fix them in post, and it feels like the MCU heading in the right direction and starting to pull the universe together again. So that's kind of interesting. It's like and maybe this was the movie of hard lessons. Maybe this was the movie where hard lessons had to be made, and so the future of, the MCU can prosper, right? Now, actually, I lied. I'm going to read two more because I can't ignore Scott Mantz, and I wanted to read Soup's reaction because Soups is the more diehard fan. You would expect him to really, really love it. So I want to read his. Captain America Brave New World wasn't as bad as I expected. nor was it as great as it should have been. It was okay. Love Anthony Mackie as the new Cap, but the film felt generic and stitched together. Weak story, forgettable villain. Harrison Ford as Red Hulk was fun though. It's like, okay. And I hate to say this, and this is coming from Soups. I hate to say this, but Captain America Brave New World was a big disappointment. Very empty and lacks the heart of a Captain America movie. The action is edited to death with thousands of cuts. Dialogue is very cheesy. Weird looking green screens, undercooked villains. And let's see what the last part. Don't expect a lot of Red Hulk either. This felt like it was supposed to be a Hulk movie that just shoehorned Sam as the lead. Ooh. So, I think that's the perfect comparison. You can see like someone like Shad Brooks usually is poo-pooing the movies, and, you know, usually be on the negative side, the more very critical side. And then you see someone like Matt Ramos, Soups, who's usually the more hype person. Like, you know, hey guys, we got to get excited about this film. It's going to be amazing. And they're kind of the opposites. But I think the main point we're going to take from this is that, you know, make sure your expectations stay low. Don't raise them too high. They'll probably make sure that you still enjoy the experience. It seems that everyone is thinking the movie is just fine. That's what it's feeling like, guys. It's feeling like the movie is just fine. Which, to be honest with you, maybe that is the progression that we're getting back to better MCU movies. So if it's better than bad, then I think that's a win. Personally, I think that's a win. That it's not, you know, that it's, if it's just fine, cool. If it's still enjoyable and it has different things, we have our low expectations, we go into the movie, there's probably a higher chance that we're going to enjoy this thing. So I'm remaining hopeful. I think that I'm going to enjoy this when I finally do get to see it Monday. You know, guys, let me know in the comments down below if you guys are going to maybe check this out during the weekend. Are you hopeful? Is this something you're going to see? I would love to hear your thoughts. Okay, guys. So, something I want to hit on real quick, dealing with movie news, specifically something that deals with the same director. So, Francis Lawrence, the guy that's done the Hunger Games movies, and he directed the original Constantine movie with, you know, Keanu Reeves, you know, he's got a lot on his plate. He's filming the new movie for the Hunger Games, like, I guess, you know, franchise. And once he does that, he's got a couple other movies on his plate. And basically, this is just a story to say he's promising, hey guys, I'm promising I'm going to make more of these. And if you didn't know, he is working on a BioShock movie. Now, going through the article, he basically says that, you know, some of the money got cut from the budget of this film, but they're still going to be able to shoot the movie, and it's just going to be a more personal, you know, more original movie that's based off the original game. And, you know, it's not going to be necessarily this big, huge blockbuster, but it's going to be a really good movie that he's really excited to film eventually. But it sounds like he's going to be filming another movie before he ever touches BioShock, which is our favorite Constantine. Constantine is coming, and it seems like that's going to be the very next movie that he films before he gets into, you know, before he gets into BioShock. So it kind of makes me wonder, you know, with the DCU and everything, I don't know if this is totally the perfect idea or the right idea, you know? It kind of makes you wonder because the consequences of, you know, having someone like Keanu Reeves coming back to play this character, you're probably not going to have it connected to the DC universe. And then if it's really good, what happens to your DC Constantine? Do you just put a DCU Constantine in another movie with other characters? Do you allow that, you know, do you allow the DCU Constantine to have his own movie? Well, I don't see you allowing a DCU Constantine to do really well and come out with its own movie if you're doing this Keanu Reeves movie. So I do want to see a sequel to this. I think it would be a lot of fun, but it does make me wonder what happens to the DCU universe with Constantine. I don't see them adding Keanu Reeves to the DCU Maybe I'm wrong. But it seems that Francis Lawrence, once he finishes his Hunger Game movie, it seems that he is going to be working on Constantine first, BioShock second. So it kind of makes me curious about you guys. Which one would you prefer to see before each other? Would you prefer to see BioShock, the movie, come out first, or would you rather see Constantine? It probably depends on what you're a fan of course. But, I would probably lean more on Constantine, but I would really be excited to see his take on both. Okay, guys. Now we got to talk about, just real quick, it's more I just want to show this. I'll see if I can find it. See if I can find where I got to go down. There is a photo. I'll just click it right here. Mortal Kombat has released a photo of their version of Johnny Cage, played by Karl Urban. And, I think a lot of people are wanting a different person to play him. I think it looks fine. I think it looks good. They're kind of taking the approach of, this is a guy that's been in Hollywood for a while, it seems, and that's kind of the approach they're taking. I enjoyed, it was like during COVID that I watched the first Mortal Kombat, and it was fun. It was a fun movie, I enjoyed it. And so, definitely excited to see what they're going to do with Johnny Cage. And this was just something I wanted to pull up to show real quick. Just, cool poster. It's fine, cool. I'm more excited to see a trailer, see what they're going to be doing. But I think Karl Urban looks good, and I'd be curious to know what you guys think about that. So, anyway, let's get into the show news. Now, I have not got to watch Spider-Man yet, okay? I've not got to watch Spider-Man yet, and the main thing I'm really excited about, and honestly, as soon as I finish doing the show, I am actually going to go and sit and watch the Spider-Man show, and so I will be posting my review of that later on today. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be coming out today, actually, and we'll get into that later. But I'm definitely excited about it because it has Daredevil. I'm really just excited to see if the show continues to progress. I still think the animation needs to be better in this show, personally. I think animation in American animation in general, needs to be better. But, I am excited to see it, and I'm excited to see the interactions between Daredevil and Spider-Man. And I'm just curious for you guys who, have jumped into the show and watch it whenever it's convenient for you to watch it. I am kind of curious to see how are you feeling about the Spider-Man show. Is it something that you've been enjoying? Do you feel like it's subpar? Do you feel like it could have been better? I'm very curious to see where y'all are. I'm still on the verge of I enjoy it, but there's definitely things I think could be better. And one of those is definitely the animation. But I'm super excited to see Daredevil today. So the review of that will be coming out later. Okay. Now, there's not too much with shows today. There's not too much show news today. But I just wanted to show this right here, because we have the person who's going to be doing the costume designs, it seems, for Lanterns. And so this comes from Nexus Point News, and it says HBO Lanterns adds a new name to the intergalactic crew. And so Nexus Point News has learned that Lanterns has welcomed a new member to the behind-the-scenes team, acclaimed costume designer Cynthia Ann Summers. Emmy-winning costume designer Summers credits include HBO's Last of Us Season 1, where she developed costumes that help create the show's distinctive post-apocalyptic settings. Summer credits also include Snowpiercer series, a series of unfortunate events, Altered Carbon, and Swan Song. So, she definitely knows how to, dress people, especially in a smaller town community, I feel like, especially looking at, Last of Us. I feel like she's going to be able to do that really well and, give them looks that, make them look cool. The question is, though, I'm very curious to see what she's going to do with the costumes, what her approach is going to be with the costumes, because she's the one that's going to give us the looks of our Green Lanterns. So, people worried that we're going to get more, Guy Gardner looks that we've been seeing from the Superman movie. Fret not. I think that she's going to give us something cool, and uh, you know, Maxwell Lord is going to have nothing to do with the Green Lantern costumes in this show. So I'm kind of curious about her approach, which she'll come up with. But I just thought that was interesting show news. Like I said, there's not really anything too interesting today about shows, at least from what I was able to find and watch. I'll get off the show today, and all of a sudden there'll be this like crazy news story about some television series coming, and I'm gonna totally miss it. But anyway, do you think this is a good sign for costumes? I think the one that actually interests me more than the Last of Us is Snowpiercer and Series of Unfortunate Events. I actually find those two more interesting than even the Last of Us costume designs, and I'm guessing she won. They said she was a winner, right? Yeah, so she was a Emmy-winning designer for Last of Us. But the thing that, like I said, the thing that kind of sparked my curiosity more is the Snowpiercer show and the Series of Unfortunate Events. But what about you guys? Are you hopeful? Is there a good sign coming ahead of us for this? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Okay, guys, let's get into the games now. I did not save this to pull up, but just so you know, I don't know if you're a One Piece fan, if you're an anime fan, but we do have the One Piece Pirates 4 is officially coming out on PS5 and Xbox Series X. So if you're a huge One Piece fan, if you like the Pirate Warriors games, the same thing as Dynasty Warriors, those games really fit to me the essence of what One Piece kind of is. Because yes, when you play or when you're watching One Piece, Luffy can mow down a lot of different people. And of course, when you fight the bosses, it takes a lot longer to beat them. But the henchmen go flying everywhere when you're watching One Piece. And so that type of gameplay really, to me, always fit with One Piece. And so if you're someone who's really loved that, just know that you're going to be getting that not just on PlayStation 5, not just on Xbox Series X, but I bet you that this announcement's coming for a reason. And I have a feeling that this will be a launch title on the Switch. That's just what I personally feel. But if you are a One Piece fan, I definitely recommend you checking that out. And it's something that I personally will be checking out because I'm super, super, super excited to, get my hands on the PS5 version of that game. So, just wanted to let you know about that. Okay. Now we got to talk about State of Play. The State of Play, I got to pull it back up and see when the State of Play is. Because the State of Play is coming out today. And let's see. Okay. Let me share this real quick. So, the State of Play is coming out today. And it's going to be 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern time. So for me, it'll be, what time would that be? That'd be 4 p.m., I believe. That'll be about 4 p.m. Central time. And then this is 11 p.m. CET. But point is there going to be a lot of really cool things coming from the State of Play, hopefully. I feel like this State of Play has to be really good because I feel like there's been a lot of State of Plays that have been subpar. So I feel like this is going to be good. Supposedly people have been talking like it's going to be good. I am considering reacting to it live on this channel at 4 o'clock. I don't know if that's something I'm going to do or not, but it's something that I have considered and have been thinking about. And I think there's 2 announcements that I really want to see. Now, this is not a PlayStation showcase, so I don't know if I see this really happening, but I would love some Wolverine content. I think we've had plenty of it leaked. I would love for the actual people working on the game to give us a little taste of what we're going to be seeing from a Wolverine game. And I don't think this is going to happen. It's just a wish upon a star. I think if it was more of a showcase, a much bigger deal, I think maybe there'd be a chance. But it's kind of continuing the story of the WB Games drama. I think they need a real PR shift from that narrative DC does as a whole. From all the drama that's happening with WB Games, they need a little bit of a distraction. And as we know, James Gunn was following, one of the guys that's over PlayStation, who's produced a lot of the games and, are overseeing a lot of the different games from the different studios. And they were following each other, I think either on Threads or Instagram. And I kind of wonder if there's a deal being struck and worked out where maybe some DC games are going to be made from, a Sony studio. And I don't want to really hear about games they're working on. I feel like that's going to be a little bit of bad luck that I really don't want out in the universe. But it would be kind of cool if they did an announcement just saying that they're working on some DC games for PlayStation. I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know, I don't think that's going to happen, honestly. But I do think something like that is needed to help send a distraction from what's going on with WB Games and get people excited for the future and the possibilities of DC properties. So, anyway, guys, that's just my quick thoughts on that. Are you guys excited for the State of Play? What things are you excited to be announced from the State of Play? Do you think this is going to be a big one, or do you think this is going to be one where you watch it and there might be one cool thing, but everything else is kind of boring? Let me know your thoughts in the description or, in the comments or in the chat down below. Okay, guys. Let's talk a little bit about comics, okay? Now, we got a comic story. Let me see if I can find it, because I swamped. Okay, yeah. We got to talk about Gwen Stacy. Because Marvel is supposedly going to be resurrecting Gwen Stacy. I'm trying to click it. Okay. And my thought is kind of like, why? Because it's like, why, but also like, okay. And the reason I say that is, there's always those characters that are supposed to stay dead. And all of them have been resurrected besides 2. But one of them kind of has. If we're being honest, Gwen Stacy kind of has been resurrected in multiple different ways. You have Gwenpool, you have Spider-Gwen, you have in the Ultimates run, you have Gwen Stacy that's there. You have Gwen Stacy a lot. And not in the way of the original character, of course, because the original character was dead. And so they were having their cake and eating it too, right? And so it's kind of like, why do it? Because you're already getting enough of Gwen Stacy anyway. Why bring this character? One of the, characters is supposed to be dead no matter what. It's like, okay, well, you had your cake, you're eating it too, but now you're just like, you know what? Let's just have our cake. Let's not eat it. Let's just have it. Because it's kind of like, okay. Because it's just, I don't know. It's just, I'm kind of curious what they're going to do with it. Maybe they have a cool story. Maybe it's something where it's like, it's not really going to be Gwen Stacy. So you're going to make it think that Gwen Stacy is alive and really she's not alive at all. I mean, I don't know. It just seems kind of pointless to me. But maybe, maybe it's because of what they've done with the character. Maybe if they weren't doing so many things with Gwen Stacy, maybe it would be more interesting. Maybe. I don't know. But I'm kind of curious to hear what you guys think about that. I mean, I don't know what they're going to be doing. I'm not caught up on my Spider-Man comics. Spider-Man probably should be the thing that I read no matter what. It's like, you're Batman, you're Superman, you're Wonder Woman, you're Spider-Man, right? Maybe that's probably what I should be doing. But I have not really been caught up on Spider-Man comics. And so I don't know what's going on recently. I know that some of the other comics that have been out were pretty rough, from my understanding. Like, people were really mad at how they were portraying Spider-Man. And I heard the Miles Morales ones were actually pretty good. But I don't know. I'll be interested to see what they're doing. Maybe they're going to be doing Gwen Stacy's Last Hunt. Maybe that's what they're going to be doing. Yeah, where she's going to hunt down Spider-Man. But anyway, guys, I'll be very curious to hear your thoughts down below in the comments, or if you're watching now in the live chat, I would love to hear your thoughts about Gwen Stacy, or maybe you're just Switzerland. You don't have an opinion. That's cool too. But anyway, guys, as we're starting to wrap up the show, today is comic book day. Today is comic book day. And we got a lot of interesting comics that are definitely coming out that I am definitely excited about. And I am using LeagueofComicGeeks.com to kind of give me a better way to look at all the different comic books that are coming out today. And I just kind of wanted to run through them and tell you the ones that I'm personally excited about and the ones that I would recommend you guys checking out. And the first one, and clearly they have it on the top, Absolute Batman number 5. I think it's going to be, really good. Scott Snyder's been doing a really good job on Absolute Batman. It's kept it really fun. Is some of it kind of silly? Sure. To me, I think, he's kind of hiding behind the fact it's like, oh, he's poor, but also he's able to afford and do things that no poor person would be able to do, with like the Batman mobile and some of the other things he's done. But that being said, I kind of would like the idea of Batman starting off poor and then working himself up to wealth himself. I think that would be kind of cool. I don't know if they'll ever go that direction with this character. That said, it's been a lot of fun. The art has been amazing. And they've definitely gotten me hyped with the idea of Bane coming into the picture, so that's something that I'm really excited about. You got your Spider-Mans, your X-Men's. Krakoa really hurt me. Krakoa, I had so much hope and love and excitement for Krakoa, and it really kind of, it broke my heart. It broke my heart. And so I haven't jumped into the new X-Men lines. I don't know which ones are good, which ones are bad. But it's definitely something that I do need to start catching up on, especially if I'm going to continue to review comics. I need to try to make sure that I am reading as much as I possibly can. But there's only so much a man can do, There's only so much a man can do. I want to collect the trades of the Transformers, so I haven't messed with it yet. But I know Daniel Warren Johnson, I've heard he's done an amazing job. And so I really can't wait to check out and read all the things that they have done with Transformers. But that is out if you are interested. You got your Action Comics, your Batman and Robin, which Batman and Robin I'm behind on, but has been good. I have enjoyed what they've been doing with that. You got your Doom under One World Under Doom. It's from the same guy that's been doing the Fantastic Four, so I'm assuming that's going to be really, really good. The Sorcerer Supreme Doom. I'm very curious to check that out. You got your Immortal Thor. You got your Spawn. Guys, you got a whole set of stuff. You got your Batman Dark Patterns. You got Aquaman. So the things that I'm going to be reading, okay? Because there's plenty of stuff I could be calling out. There's a long list of things, guys. There's a long list of stuff. But the things that I am definitely going to be reading. I'm going to be reading Feral. Because I really enjoy the Feral comic. I would definitely recommend that if you are a, indie fan. You like some different stories that are outside of superhero stuff. Basically, Feral is like, what if you're following cats dealing with like almost like a zombie type apocalypse that is centered around animals, and it's really good. It's really good. So I definitely recommend that. I'm going to be reading Aquaman. I trust Jeremy Adams. I'm a big Jeremy Adams fan now, so especially after reading his Green Lantern run and reading some of the Flash run, I'm definitely excited for Aquaman. I enjoyed the first issue, so I gotta understand what's going on with Aquaman, so I'm really excited about that. You got your Green Lantern Corps #1 coming out. That's gonna be really exciting. And I'm really excited to check out this Bug Wars by Jason Aaron. Basically, this kid is gonna get shrunk, I guess, and he's gonna be, I guess, maybe he's in his house, maybe before he gets out into the outside of his house, but he's gonna get shrunk the size of a bug, and he's gonna find out that there's basically this big war between all these different bugs, and it's gonna be kind of like this like Game of Thrones, Honey I Shrunk the Kids kind of story, and it sounds really interesting. So I personally am excited to check that out. And then you got your Mutant Nation. I'm more excited about what's going on with Mutant Nation than personally I am with the Ninja Turtles. like the normal Ninja Turtle storyline. So that is there for you if you want to check that out. But anyway, guys, there's a lot of interesting things. There's a lot of interesting things out. So I'm very curious to hear what you guys are going to be reading. What are you excited about? What are you interested in checking out? Let me know in the comments down below. But anyway, guys, I feel like this was a short one. But maybe that's what it was meant to be. Maybe today, that's what it was meant to be. It was meant to be a little bit more of a shorter episode. Tomorrow, when it comes to shows, I will give more of my thoughts on Spider-Man. But anyway, guys, I hope that you guys are doing well. I appreciate the ones that maybe jumped in for a minute and jumped back out. I really do appreciate you guys, giving me a shot and giving a chance. And anyway, guys, I hope everything's going well for you. I hope you go pick up some comics today at your local comic book store. And anyway, guys, we'll leave off with that. And whatever you're doing, wherever you're going, I hope you're having a good one. Peace.